All right, we want to welcome those of you who are joining us now on KVLY for the presidential visit, the arrival of President Trump in Fargo for a campaign rally in support of Republican Congressman Kevin Cramer, who is trying to unseat Heidi Heitkamp. Let's go live to Mike Morgan at Shields Arena as the crowd gets ready to hear from President Trump. Mike.
Andrea, we are watching as everyone seems to be getting set. As you indicated, we saw Kevin Cramer walking in and glad-handing to a lot of the Republican names that are here. In fact, I can see from where I'm at in the back of the arena, I can see the governor and first lady. Doug Burgum is here. Cramer is standing next to him. And there are a lot of candidates for North Dakota office, including, let's see, Al Jaeger. I see him in the back, and earlier when they introduced Al, he probably received the best applause from anyone. Of course, the story with Jaeger was he did not get the Republican Party nomination, and then when the candidate did drop out, then Jaeger came back as an independent, and he was introduced here today. So he's there. Ryan Rauschenberger is there, and I am also seeing making their way toward me is 6:30 POV host Chris Berg. Chris just got here. Chris, you are live, Chris. So what was it like with the motorcade?
The motorcade was amazing. There was a bunch of people out there, obviously. They blocked off part of the interstate. Everyone's got their signs up. There's a small group of protesters back there. But then just now, I just got done, had a chance, thanks to you, to have a one-on-one interview with President Trump, and it was incredible. He talked about, why he's here tonight. He asked me about, hey, should we have done it at the big arena at the Fargo Dome? I was like, absolutely. He goes, all right, maybe we'll come back. We'll do the Fargo Dome next time.
There was talk. Tim Rasmussen was here earlier, and we talked to him about the excitement around the president's visit, and he said this might not be the only time he'll be here before November.
He's seriously considering it, and so Senator Hoeven walked up right at the end of the interview. We were kind of talking about it. I said, hey, do the Fargo Dome, and can you get Carson Wentz to open? And Senator Hoeven was like, oh, yeah, sure, so we'll see.
Wow. What do you expect the president to talk about today?
He's obviously going to talk tonight about, the fact that Justice Kennedy retired and what that means for this upcoming election. If you thought this Senate race was hot before, now with this Supreme Court justice retiring, there's going to be so much money, so much heat on this race. It's going to be like something we've never seen before in North Dakota.
We talked about this earlier this afternoon about the fact that he came out in the tweet after the primary and he indicated that Kevin was his guy and that Heidi wasn't always supportive of what his agenda was all about. We know that he supports Kevin Cramer. You think he's going to take a few shots tonight?
I don't know. I kind of asked him about that video, like, hey, I did ask him about, can you depend on Heidi Heitkamp? Now that you've got this Supreme Court justice retiring, Mitch McConnell said earlier today, we want to get this done before the election. Well, if you remember, President Trump tweeted out, Heidi Heitkamp's always a no when we need her, but she did vote for Justice Gorsuch. So he did get her vote there. Can he get her vote again if he needs it? He said, you know what? There's too much uncertainty there. I want certainty. That's why I got to vote for Kevin Cramer.
You and I were in Mandan when he was there. We're here again today. Do you anticipate anything different?
Yeah, I really feel he was amazing in Mandan, but I think now that he's got Secretary Pompeo and his team around him, I think he's getting a new level of his mojo.
Well, we're standing around. Don't go away. We have been treated to numerous rock and roll tunes over the last hour and a half, and I'm actually curious to know where we're going from here, but let's go back to what it was like in that motorcade. So you got on what was the path you took?
So we ended up going down 19th Avenue North towards the interstate, rolled onto the interstate, got right off on 32nd. They came down 32nd, cruised through there. Everything obviously was, cut off and no traffic except for everybody up and down the roads. And that's what President Trump said to me after the interview. He's like, did you see all those people stand on the sides of the roads? Like, I think we should fill the big place, you know? So then we came in the back door. There was a small number of protesters out there by the back door. In fact, I was sitting by a Washington Post reporter. He's like, oh, I love that sign because it said Mueller time. So the WAPO guy's like, oh, that's a good one.
The experience of being in a motorcade. We do a lot of things as journalists and covering the news, but what was that like from your perspective?
It was just, and again, we talked about this morning with Lisa Bedell, my morning show. I don't care what your political affiliations are. When a president comes to town, there's just a certain gravitas about it. I mean, you know, we were out there and we got to go in the national press pool. So they took us out right by the Beast, you know, the big car that President Trump gets into. And then when he walks down, he was with Congressman Kramer, Senator Hoeven. You had Governor Burgum and his wife, Catherine. And then we had Congressman Kramer's wife and his son, Abel, sitting there. Abel got to ride in the Beast over here to the Shields Arena. So it's just really special to see kind of all that take place and to be that close to it. We got some great video that we'll show you exclusively here on Valley News Live, hopefully tonight or for sure for the next couple days. But then, yeah, to have the motorcade, it's like the Red Sea just parting as you're driving down.
What was your view when Air Force One landed?
When it landed, it kind of, we almost lost it for a little while because it drove off somewhere, but then it came running around. And I've got some great video there where it pulls right up, and obviously it's blaring in your ears. But again, you just think about who's sitting on that plane, where it's been, what it's done, what it's capable of doing. Just a really, really special moment.
Don't go away. I'm just kind of, as this song is wrapping up, we're trying to figure out where we're going to go next. We are live from Shields Arena on Valley News Live, and we are covering the presidential rally where President Donald Trump is expected to address this crowd of some 6,000 plus people. And I can tell you we're pretty full. We've got people from all over. And now as Michael Jackson, the Thriller, comes on the screen. People are on their feet, maybe anticipating someone coming out shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.